Okay, this froze up on me here, so people at home, let's go over this again real quick. Question number 4, I'm going to give you a function such as f of x is 5x plus 3. I'm going to ask you something such as negative f of a and f of negative a. That's not the same thing. F of a simply means plug in a. If I plug in a, it'd be 5a plus 3, okay? But then I want you to take the opposite of all of that, okay? So 5a plus 3 would turn into negative 5a minus 3, okay? I plugged in a first, then I changed everything to the opposite. F of negative a simply means plug in negative a. 5 times negative a plus 3, 5 times negative a is negative 5a plus 3, and these are two different questions, okay? Look similar, but they're not, okay? Question number 5, again, I'm going to give you a function, ask you for the domain. We find out what makes 0. I set it equal to 0. If I do that, we get negative 7/4, okay? We're not done with this yet. All right, so if I plug in negative 7/4, we get 0. So I need to know, do I plug in numbers bigger than negative 7/4 or smaller? If you're not sure, just pick an ungodly, ridiculous number. Take a really big number, like 1,000. Is 1,000 okay? Can I plug in 1,000? Sure. Because 4 times 1,000 plus 7 is a positive number. So I need numbers that are what?
Bigger.
Bigger than or equal to negative 7/4. Okay? We have to plug in numbers bigger than or equal to negative 7/4. Okay, next one. Number 6. How about f of x equals radical 2x minus 5 over, let's see, x squared, minus 8x plus 7. Okay, what's the domain on this one? Okay, if I gave you radical 2x minus 5 over x squared minus 8x plus 7. Okay, so let's deal with the top first. The top, we're going to do the same way we just did the one a second ago. Let's find out what makes 0. 2x minus 5 equals 0. Add 5 to each side, divide by 2. X is 5/2. Okay, so do I want numbers bigger than 5/2 or smaller than 5/2? For example, if I plug in 1,000, is 1,000 okay?
Yep.
Sure. So I need numbers that are
Bigger.
than or equal to 5/2. Now we're not done though. Okay? There's certain values you're not allowed to plug in on bottom. You can't have a negative inside of a radical, and you can't have a 0 on bottom. So any idea what we're going to do on bottom? I actually did it over here and I erased it. We're going to factor this thing. Okay? Factor. So if we do that, we're going to have x and x. Last term is positive. To make a positive, it's either a plus and a plus or a minus and a minus. We've got to get some negatives somehow. And how do you times the 7 and add to 8? 1 and 7. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. So there's two values x can't be. Can't be 1 or 7, because if you plug in either 1 or 7, you get 0 on the bottom. Okay? So your domain is x has to be bigger than this, but it can't be that. And I will not mark you wrong if you left it like this. But there's a better answer. Part of this is unnecessary. Okay? We said that x has to be bigger than 5/2, but x can't be 1 or 7. What part could I erase and it wouldn't change it?
The 1.
Why?
Because they're having.
What do you mean?
It's got to be bigger than 5.
If it's bigger than 5/2, 5/2 is 2.5. It's got to be bigger than 5/2. If that's the case, then what? It can't be 1. Am I going to mark you wrong if this was the question? You put that on there? No. But you don't need that. A better answer is you don't need that. Okay? If it's bigger than 5/2, it won't be 1. It can't be 1. Okay? So either way, if you want to keep it, you can. If you don't want to keep it, either way, it's fine. A better answer, though, is to get rid of that 1. Okay. Let's do 2 more, then we'll stop for today. Except for our homework quiz. Or would you guys rather we do all 10? I don't really care. I mean, we're going to do the homework. Would you rather do the homework quiz Monday?
Yeah.
I'm going to trust you guys because the kids at home already have the problems. I already emailed them, and they know. So I'm going to trust that you guys aren't going to go, hey, which ones are they? Which ones are they? Okay? So, or what the heck, maybe I'll just tell you what they are, and you guys can make sure you get them done over the weekend. We'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, let's get these last 4 in then. And then what we'll do on Monday is we'll do our homework quiz and I'll just give you, I mean, any questions you guys have, and maybe I'll just throw some problems up here that you guys need help on. Okay, how about this one? F of x equals x squared minus 10x plus 3. What's the vertex? Oh, also, by the way, remember the first test? Remember there was a lot of questions, they weren't similar, they were dead on exactly those questions? Remember the last test we took? That's not these are all made, I swear to God. I'm not blowing smoke here, okay? Don't memorize answers. These are easy ones for me to make up. I can make these up without any problem at all, okay? So don't memorize answers, because these are not they're the questions with different numbers. Okay, the vertex here. Okay, so here's what we need to do. X squared minus 10x, leave a blank, put plus 3. Okay, and we've already done this once. It's going to go in the blank.
Half of 10 squared.
25. Where'd you get 25 from? Half of 10 is 5 squared. So I'm going to write that off to the side here. 10 divided by 2 is 5, squared is 25. So we're going to put plus 25 here. For years, whenever you add to one side, you add to the other. Another way of doing that is if I add 25 to the right-hand side, what else can I do? Subtract 25 to the right side also, okay? I could cancel these. Should I? No, then we're back where we started, literally. We're just spinning our wheels, okay? So, on the right-hand side, we added 25, we subtracted 25. This is a square now. So we write something squared. We always put x. Half of minus 10 is minus 5. 3 minus 25 is negative 22. What's the vertex? What? 5, negative 22. Remember, opposite same. Opposite same vertex.
Oh.
You good?
Yeah.
Were you thinking opposite, opposite?
Yeah.
That's for circles. I don't think this is, compared to the first test, I don't think this one's that bad. I really don't. I think your homework's a whole lot more difficult than this.
The last test we did?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't do very good.
I know you didn't. All right, number 8. Gotta knock this one out of the park, though. Okay, how about this one? Let's do. Okay, so we got a parabola, picture of a parabola, and V, which stands for vertex, is 1, 3, and it goes through the point 6, 0. It also goes to the point 6, 0. I want the equation of this parabola, okay? The equation of this parabola. So, here's what we need to do. For our equation, y equals a, and we know something about a. Is it going to be a positive number or a negative number? Just by looking at the graph. It's going to be. Now, some students say, so do I put negative a down? No, just put a. But understand that when we're all done, a is going to be negative. If you wanted to put negative a right now, you could. But when you do that, when you find out what a is, it's going to be a positive because you already have the negative there. But just leave it a and know that when we're done, a is going to be negative. Okay. Then we put x, and our vertex is 1, 3. So I'm going to put x what? Minus 1 squared. Okay. Plus 3. Remember, opposite same. We just talked about that a second ago. 1, 3. So negative 1, positive 3. All right? Now we got to find out what a is. What little bit of information haven't we used yet, though? The other point. So plug in the other point. Our y value is 0. A we're trying to find. X is 6 minus 1 squared plus 3. We plug in the vertex, and we're plugging in the point. Clean it up. 0 equals a times 5 squared plus 3. I'm going to show all my steps. You don't necessarily have to. 0 equals a times 25 plus 3. Subtract 3 from each side. 0 minus 3 is negative 3 equals a times 25. Divide by 25. A is negative 3/25. And we're almost done. We're almost done. We've done all the hard work. We got one last thing to do. What's that? Plug it in. And does it make sense that it's a negative 3/25? Yeah. Had to be negative something, we said, because the parabol's going down. Two more. 9 different than number 8? No graph, that's it. It's the same problem. It's literally the same problem. So do you have to draw a picture? If you want to, you can. You don't need, you really don't need to, okay? It's literally this. If it makes it easier for you, draw a picture. I'm not gonna, okay? But it's literally the same question you just did. I'm giving you a vertex, I'm gonna give you another point, okay? So we start out with y equals a, x what? Careful. Careful, x, the x value, quit looking at the y value. Just x, or if you really want to, x plus 0 or x minus 0, it doesn't really matter. Or just x squared, then what? Then minus 5. You good with that? You kept looking at the y value. Don't do that on Tuesday. Okay? And then we got to plug in the other point to find out what a is. Okay? So y is 11, or if you're big and low, y is 4. A times the x value is 4. Sorry, Luke had to say it though. Okay. Clean it up. 11 equals a times 16 minus 5. Add 5 to each side. Oh man, nice number. Huh. 16 equals a times 16. Divide by 16. A is 1. Huh. I didn't plan that. I put a 1 there, or you can just erase the a. I mean, you don't need to have a 1. Just don't put anything there if you don't want to. Okay. Didn't realize it was going to come out so nice like that. So yeah, those last two, those two right there are the same question, just no picture. Okay, last one. Okay. Number 14. F of x equals.
Go from 9 to 14.
Because I'm using an old test and I left out 4 questions. So your math teacher just doesn't know how to count. Is that a problem? I can count, just not in order. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, there's 14 questions on this old test, and I crossed out 4 of them. Okay, f of x is 4x plus 3, and g of x equals 5x squared plus 3x minus 1. 2-parter here though, okay? Find I'll give you the first part. Find f following g of x, and then find f of g of 3. So I mean, all it's saying is find f of g of x, do that, and then plug in 3 and get an answer, okay? So, easy way to think of it is this. Here's the long way. F follows G, so G is first. Or plug G into F. Simplest way to think of it, though, is the first thing you see is F. So you know what you start writing down? F. So the first thing I'm going to write is what?
2.
2 times, I see an X, plug in what G is. And G is 5x squared plus 3x minus 1. Then continue writing F. So what's the last thing I have to write? Plus 3. And I do want it cleaned up as best you can. This isn't tough to clean up. Times by 2, so we have 10x squared. 2 times 3 is 6x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Plus 3, and then put together negative 2 and 3. You have 10x squared plus 6x plus 1. Is part A all done?
No.
Almost. Now what?
Put 3 in.
Put 3 in for all the x's. So 10 times 3 squared plus 6 times 3 plus 1. 3 squared is 9. So 10 times 9 plus 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1. 10 times 9 is 90 plus 18 plus 1 is 109. Last part. Part B. Same 2 functions. Now I want G follows F of x and G of F of 3. So, am I going to get the same answer? I plugged in 3 here. I'm going to plug in 3. Am I going to get the same answer? Most of the time, no. Very rarely do you get, if it is, it's just a coincidence usually, okay? Very rarely do you get the same function, okay? So, start writing the G function. First thing I see is 5. I see an x. So I plug in the f function for x, which is 2x plus 3 squared. Keep writing the g function. Plus 3 times, well, there's another x, plug in 2x plus 3 again. Minus 1. And I do want this one simplified as much as you can. And what I mean is, because this is the last, I don't think any of these questions take an ungodly amount of time. 2x plus 3 squared means 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. We're going to FOIL. Let's go ahead and distribute the 3 over here. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times 3 is 9. Minus 1. I think you guys can handle this. We're going to FOIL and times by 5. FOIL, I'll make sure everybody's caught up here though before we actually start this. FOIL out 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3, and then we're also going to times by 5. So let's do our first. 2x times 2x is 4x squared times 5. 20x squared. We got to times each of these by 5. Our outers, 3 times 2x is 6x. My inners are also 6x. 6x and 6x are 12x. Am I going to write 12x?
24.
12x times 5. Make sure we did that again. 3 times 2 is 6x. 3 times 2 is 6x. 6x and 6x is 12x. 12x times 5. And then our last, 3 times 3 is 9. Am I going to write 9? I'm going to write 9 times 5, 45. 6x plus 9 minus 1. Simplify it, 20x squared. We put together 60x and 6x, that's 66x. 45 and 9 is 54, minus 1 is 53. And the last thing you got to do, plug in 3. 20 times 3 squared plus 66 times 3 plus 53. 20 times 3 is 9, so 20 times 9. 66 times 3 is 198. 20 times 9 is 180, plus 198, plus 53. What is it, 200, 378, 428, 431, I think. Let me check. 251, 451. No, it's not. 251, 251, 451. No, that's right. 431. Can you use calculators on the test? Yeah. Okay, any question on this? That's test. So, on Monday, when you guys come in, we'll do our homework quiz, and then just, whatever questions you have. Okay, test is Tuesday.